Sunset Boulevard came out in 1950 and is directed by Billy Wilder and stars Gloria Swanson and William Holden. So the plot is Holden is a screenwriter in 1950 Hollywood, and he is trying to come up with an original idea to give to Paramount Studios, and he's trying and trying and trying. He writes this script, he brings it in, it's criticized, and he owes money to these people, something about his car. I don't remember all of the details, but he has to hide from these people because he lied to them. He said that his car was somewhere else, it was out of town, and we need it by Monday. And so he has to escape from Hollywood, basically. And he hides in this run-down old mansion on Sunset Boulevard, parks his car in the garage and goes inside, where he's greeted by this man named Max, and he is a butler, and he's the butler for Norma Desmond, played by Gloria Swanson. That's basically the plot. That is the general premise and setup for Sunset Boulevard, and what happens next I don't want to ruin for you, because although this is a really old film, I was hesitant to watch it because of how old it was. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I really, 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 really liked this film. It's really good, and it's funny, in a way, kind of. It's a dark comedy and kind of a satire on Hollywood, which is strange considering the time that it came out. Those kinds of movies didn't really happen all that often because of the censorship and the writers and directors wanting to protect the image of Hollywood. And this was kind of this, I don't really know how to say it, like a look behind the curtain, if you will, at Hollywood. And there's a lot of things that I want to bring up about this film that are very interesting and that make it so great. So one thing that I really enjoyed is the voiceover. William Holden's character, Joe, he has these voiceovers throughout the film talking about his life, his current situation, basically being forced to live with Norma Desmond and being forced to write a script for her. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning, but he's being forced to write a script for her, and he has these monologues and these voiceovers throughout the film. They're really funny. They're probably one of the funniest parts of the film, and they're just really enjoyable to listen to. He does a really good job making a believable performance, and he's really good in contrast to Gloria Swanson's Norma Desmond, which is what I want to bring up next. Oh my gosh. Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond, maybe one of the best, if not the best performance I've ever seen in a film ever. It's like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, but minus the axe murder. It's insane how good she is in this movie. She is basically living in the past, is how many critics put it. She lives in the past, and she has these great quotes throughout the film. This is another thing that I wrote down here, but she has these great quotes. She says in one scene, "I am big, it's the pictures that got so small." And that was on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies, Greatest Film Quotes of All Time. Absolutely deserves to be on there. It's great. There were actually two from Sunset Boulevard. Another one is at the end, where Norma Desmond says, "Okay, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up." Another great quote. In context, it sounds kind of weird. You know, that's considered a great quote. It sounds kind of simple. But trust me, it's really good, and you should watch this movie. Now, I had never seen a silent film before when I watched this. I've since watched two. Reviews of them will be coming soon. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed a silent film and how emotionally involved you can get in a film that doesn't use any words. There's no speaking, it's all facial expressions and the occasional text card that comes up on the screen to kind of fill you in on important dialogue that you would be hearing if you could hear it, but you can't. But Gloria Swanson's character, she says in one scene, "I didn't need words, I had eyes," because if you watch the old silent films, they have black around their eyes, so it accents them more, and they do these crazy facial expressions with their eyes where they go like, there's a scene at the end of the movie where she's going, and it's funny. It's kind of funny. Again, it's a funny movie. I was surprised at how much I thought it was funny. I'm actually going to read Leonard Maltin's review right now of Sunset Boulevard. Okay. Sunset Boulevard, he gives it 4 out of 4 stars, of course, because it's old. But I think that it does deserve it. I will be perfectly honest, it deserves these 4 stars. Legendary Hollywood black comedy about faded silent film star Norma Desmond living in the past with her butler, who shelters hack screenwriter as boyfriend. Bitter, funny, and fascinating, Gloria's tour de force. Oscar winner for Best Screenplay, Score, and Art Direction / Set Direction, later a Broadway musical. I've not seen the Broadway musical. I don't know when it was a musical. I just know that it is one, or was one, because it isn't anymore. I'm getting completely lost. But really, this is such a good movie. I was genuinely shocked at how much I enjoyed it. It was like, okay, it's old, it was probably good at the time, you know, but standards have been raised and now it's probably considered, you know, okay. No, this is much better than most stuff that comes out today. It's so good, and I'm not saying that bad movies are all that we have today. There have been a lot of good movies that weren't Marvel's blank that have come out today. That's a whole nother video. It's a whole nother thing. But one other thing that's really cool in this movie is the Hollywood big shots of that time, of the 1950s, make cameo appearances in the film, and they play themselves, like Cecil B. DeMille, who's basically the founding father of American cinema. He makes an appearance as himself in a really good scene, really important scene. I have them written down here. Hedda Hopper is in it. She was like the original gossip columnist in the 1950s and around that time. She is really good in it. Her interactions with Norma Desmond and what she says about Norma Desmond, very interesting. Buster Keaton, Anna Q. Nilsson, and H.B. Warner are both in it. They were all silent film actors and actresses. And then Ray Evans and Jay Livingston, they were both musical composers for film, and in Hollywood they did a lot of stuff. I know Jay Livingston, I think, or maybe it was the other one. I think it was Jay Livingston that did some of the score for The Godfather. So, you know, really big people in Hollywood, very important people, very influential people in Hollywood. Very interesting movie. I agree with what Leonard Maltin said. It's bitter, funny, and fascinating. It is a great performance by Gloria Swanson. It is also a great performance by William Holden. And in the end, the movie comes full circle. It starts basically at the end of the film. And then it takes you back. And then, so you go here, then it takes you back. You go to the end, you reach the point that you saw as the beginning, and then you have the ending. It's not a terribly long movie. It's 110 minutes, so it's under 2 hours. I very much recommend that you watch it. Try to find it. I know I rented it off Amazon, so if you have that, watch it that way. But seriously, check this movie out. Don't be afraid to give an older film a try. I know I was, and I really enjoyed it. So in the end, guys, Sunset Boulevard, great movie, great acting, great characters, great quotes. I really enjoyed it. I think that you will too. I want you guys to go check it out. Next up for my review is Apocalypse Now, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. I'm really looking forward to reviewing that, so you guys will see that on Thursday. And I have an announcement to make in my next video that you will see in my next video. That's why it's in the next one. But anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. I will see you guys next time, and until then, keep watching movies. Watch those. Watch all of those. Great movies. Turning off the camera. Turning off the camera. Turning off the camera.